some refreshing air, refreshing wind. It was very hot the last few days. And this wind will, of course, give us a nice smell of the roses, and it will drift away the smell of dog duty. It's a good thing. So, but is this a good thing? This is the Zeiss Tessa 50mm 2.8 from 1955. It is labeled Carl Zeiss Jena. It's from the GDR, where I was born. And this lens is so old. My grandfather used this lens on his old Altissa. It has a element to group ratio of 1.33, which is good. And I believe we get 0.25 or 28, 0.25 in the dispersion. So this lens should, in theory, provide us with a good amount of 3D pop and good old true-to-life rendition. But does it? We are on the Fuji X-T3. It's a sensor that should provide us with something that has a good pixel pitch ratio also. But this lens is not that easy to use. Well, we got a 2.8 aperture, minimum aperture, so there's a good chance that I'm in focus right now. But the curvature, the field curvature of these lenses, I can never tell. Well, I like to use this lens, I like to set up the shots, so even though that there is a possibility of not being in focus, I don't care. For professional work, this is not the right choice. But do we see something? I believe we do. We should, at least in theory. What do you think? Do you see something? You can get this lens relatively cheap. It has its price, yes. It's about 100 euros, $100. For a lens that old, well, it's pretty pricey, but it didn't wear off much, so this lens is in a very good condition still, even though it is 70 years old. 70 years? Damn, this is old. That's a good one. So I personally like this lens, and I used it on different cameras like the Sony A7, the first one, and A6000, Nikon D7000, but it was flat on that camera because the sensor of this camera makes it flat. I used it on the Fuji and on Nikon D800, and it was flat on that camera too. And of course on the Sony A6700, and guess what? You know. So, but here we should see something, and I believe it is a very nice image. So if you got time and if you want to make photographs, if you want to do photography with this lens, it's excellent. It's very, very good. It's not that sharp in the center, so if you want to take portraits, then it is good, because who wants sharp portraits, right? When I was in professional photography, I used very sharp lenses, Sigma lenses and Nikkor lenses, but I often softened it afterwards, because who wants it? A true-to-life image, a true-to-life portrait, fine art portraiture, is not about the sharpness in the center, it's about what you can feel when you see the picture, right? So if you're into that, use this lens, it's perfect. It has a good rendition if you want to make cinematic video and have time, then use this lens. But remember, if you want to shoot yourself, can I say it like that? Yes, I can. If you want to, well, take videos of yourself, better to say, then there is the chance that you miss focus, even though you focus on something obvious, like this. But I believe that I'm in focus this time. Alright, so what do you think about this lens? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe you owned this lens, took photographs with it, just tell me. And see you with the next lens.